So today I'm starting a new project, and that project is to make my own Kig mask. I'm a fan of cosplay, but I've only made a few small props from a few games and movies, and I've never made anything as big as I'm making today. Within reason, there's a lot more processes involved here. Now, I've recently just learned about a process called papercraft, which basically turns any 3D object into a flat image which you can print out and then work on it to make it 3D again. The best thing about papercraft is you only need a few basic items to get started. The problem with papercraft, especially with this headpiece, is I'm going to have to learn how to use fiberglass and resin, which I've never done before, and I've heard it's a bit of a tricky material to get used to. So on the screen right now, this is a test piece for the Kigurumi mask, and it's made out of basic paper, 80 grams, and it came out quite well, but it was a bit flimsy, so I had to go out and buy myself a little bit thicker paper. Now on the screen right now, this is some paper I had, which is actually 200 grams, which is a bit too thick, and I stopped the process halfway through because it was just a bit too difficult to stick everything together because the paper was fighting itself when sticking it. Now the Wolverine one was 120 gram paper and it was perfect, so if anyone wants to start this, get 120 gram paper and use that. It's so much easier to use. Now on the screen right now, I'm showing you one of the new masks I want to make, which is modelled by myself. This is my own 3D model, and what I learned from the Kigurumi mask and from the Wolverine one, which I didn't make in the Wolverine one, is that too many polygons like this Avril Lavigne one, it's just a bit difficult to start folding up. So I've had to learn how to minimise my model in the 3D software, and when it comes to the 2D software, as you can see on the screen, it makes it a bit easier to put onto paper and fold up and stick together as the process gets finished. Because basically, the more you start sticking all this paper together, the more resistant the paper wants to be, as it's trying to not fold into certain positions. Even though it's come from a 3D model, it's the folds that really get the difficultiness when it comes to making them. I'm hoping that if I do get to complete this Kigurumi mask, as it's the basic shape, and if I'm lucky enough to get used to using the resin and fiberglass, any 3D model that I make, I can pretty much build into this resin and fiberglass, which would be awesome. I can practically make anything then. And a future goal would be to make the full Bubblegum Crisis costume, as I love that anime. That model is my very own model. I'm trying to reduce some of the polygons, but other than that, yeah, I hope it goes well for me. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, please continue to watch, and hopefully I see you next time.